Aroma Wine Company of Fresno, California presents
Suspense. Tonight, Roma Wines bring you Mr. Lee Bowman as star of I Won't Take a Minute, a suspense play produced, edited, and directed for Roma Wines by William Spear.
Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills, is presented for your enjoyment by Roma Wines. That's R-O-M-A, Roma Wines. Those excellent California wines that can add so much pleasantness to the way you live, to your happiness in entertaining guests, to your enjoyment of everyday meals. Yes, right now a glassful would be very pleasant as Roma Wines bring you Mr. Lee Bowman in a remarkable tale of
Suspense.
She was very good to look at, which is why I waited till I was 25 and met her. Here's how she went. First, a lot of gold all beaten up into a froth and poured over her head and allowed to set there in crinkly little curls. Blue eyes and a mouth with real lines. And in addition, well, she had everything just about right. And believe me, I was going to throw away the sales slip and not return the merchandise once it got to my house. That's why I nearly went nuts every evening waiting for her to come out of the building where she worked. She was always the last one out, and this particular evening she was later than usual. It got dark. The streetlights came on, and the rush hour was over before she put in an appearance.
Kenny? Oh, gee, Kenny, I'm sorry. You've been waiting long?
Oh, no. I just nearly got run in for picketing the place, that's all.
I hurried all I could. Please don't be mad at me, Kenny.
I'm not mad at you. The slave driver you worked for. Why do you always have to be the last one out?
Oh, it's only for another week.
Yeah. Come on, let's go.
I got to deliver this package on the way home for his nib.
But you're not going home. We're going to Philharmonic. Thursday, remember?
Oh, it won't take any time at all, honey. It's just around the corner. 415 Martine Street.
Okay. That guy nerves me up, making you play messenger girl after hours.
Oh, let's don't talk about Mr. Heston. Let's talk about us. Been counting the days?
All day. 13 left.
And the half. Don't forget the half if it's to be a noon wedding.
Why all the fuss about the half?
Oh, I don't like 13 by itself. I'll be glad when it's tomorrow and only 12 days left.
Gee, you're cute. The more I know you, the cuter you get.
I bet you won't say that a year from now. You'll be calling me your old lady then.
You'll always be Steffi to me. Just Steffi.
Not even Stephanie?
No, too sophisticated, too foreign sounding. Steffi, that's you. Hey, what number are you supposed to deliver that package to?
415. This must be it.
What a dump. Your boss have many customers in dumps like this?
I don't know. Hold a match for me, will you, Kenny? Can't see the name.
There, that's better?
Yeah, Yeah, I still don't see
What was the name?
Muller, apartment 4B. Oh, here it is. Name card's fallen out of the slit and gotten lost. No wonder I couldn't find it.
Maybe they're not home.
I'll ring it again. There it is.
I don't like those automatic door latches. You never know who's up there.
Oh, don't be silly. Wait here, honey. I won't take a minute.
I never timed a cigarette. I suppose they take around 5 minutes. This one seemed to take longer, but then look who I was waiting for. I punched it out with my foot and lit another. I thought, won't take a minute. Yeah, I might have known it. I thought, what's she doing, saying a T up there? I counted my change just to give myself something to do. I took off my hat and looked it over like I'd never seen it before. 5 cigarettes later, she still hadn't come back. Things happened. Nothing much. Little things that were to last so long. A stout lady in a ratty-looking fur coat came in holding some candy in one hand and a little boy by the other.
I want a Hershey bar. I want a Hershey bar.
Oh, you shut up or I'll smack you good.
I'll cut off your head and put it in the garbage can.
Now, Dwighty, I don't want to hear another word. If you don't hush up, I'll...
After they'd gone, more waiting started in. I commenced tracing patterns with my feet. Circles, diagonals, Maltese crosses. Finally, I got fed up. I stepped over to the bell panel, picked out 4B, and nearly sent the button through to the other side of the wall. I could hear it ringing away off somewhere. Quiet house. Too quiet. I leaned on the bell till my thumb joint got all white down to my wrist. And something did happen. I heard the door of the automatic elevator open. I waited, nonchalant-like, filing my fingernails. I thought I'd play a little hurt when she arrived. I could see it was her, all right, walking toward me. She opened the door and then walked past me like she never saw me before. I let her go on. Figured she'd turn around by the time she got to the door. But no. Steffi. Hey, Steffi, wait. Steffi. Hey, Steffi, what's the big idea?
I beg your pardon.
Oh, I thought you were... I mean, you're dressed just like...
I would advise you to be sure to whom you are talking before you go to grab a strange girl by the coat.
Oh, no kidding. You look a lot like her, even the clothes. That little tam and the red shoes.
Really, I don't find this amusing.
Okay, sister, pardon me for living.
Next time, make sure it's one of the girls that live here.
It was a shock. I didn't like the looks of the place from the beginning. Up to then, I was just sore. Now I began to get scared. Maybe there's some guy up there trying to get funny with her, I thought. I better get up there fast and find out what this is. So I laid my hand flat over all the bells in the place so somebody'd open up. Open up in there. Open up or I'll bust the door down. Do you hear me? Steffi, are you in there, honey? Baby, why don't you say something?
Yeah, what's this?
Oh, that's what I want to know. Who are you?
Building superintendent.
Got a pass key to this flat?
I have. What do you want in there?
My girl. She took a package up. I've been waiting for her downstairs. I don't know how long. She never came down again. Now they won't answer the bell.
No, wait a minute, young fella. She couldn't be in this flat.
Oh, don't try to tell me.
Don't you try to tell me. I say she couldn't be.
Why?
I'll show you why.
Hey.
Now, you see why?
It's empty.
Empty.
Nobody lives here. But there was someone here a while ago. She rang the bell and they let her in.
Mister, this place ain't been rented for 6 months.
Listen, she came in here, I tell you.
Yeah. Maybe you and the little girl had a quarrel, eh? Maybe she figured to play a little joke on you. Give you the slip.
We never had any quarrel. We're getting married.
Why don't you go to her place? You'll probably find her there.
Well, she didn't come out again, I tell you. I was there at the door the whole time. What about the back way? Is there a back way out?
Not a back way. There's a delivery entrance, but that goes right past my quarters. Nobody went out that way.
Muller. The name was Muller. Well, if he doesn't live in 4B, where does he live?
Muller. We never had anyone with that name in the whole 12 years I've been working here.
For Suspense, Roma Wines are bringing you as star Mr. Lee Bowman in I Won't Take a Minute. Roma Wines' presentation tonight in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Between the acts of Suspense, this is Truman Bradley for Roma Wines. In the hurried, hectic shopping weeks between now and Christmas, there will be many a night when you'll be glad to relax in the warmth and comfort of your own home. And what more delightful way to enjoy a quiet, restful evening than with a glassful of Roma California Muscatel and nuts or cake. You'll thoroughly enjoy this magnificent Roma wine, so tempting with the distinctive fragrance of the world-famous Muscat grape, with its rich, mellow sweetness, its glowing golden fire. Roma Muscatel is delightful with desserts, too. Famed hostess Elsa Maxwell says, Roma Muscatel is a sure to please, easy to serve entertainment wine when guests drop in. Like all Roma wines, Roma Muscatel is a true wine, crushed from selected grapes, unhurriedly guided to taste perfection by age-old winemaking skill. And Roma's new low prices save you as much as 1/4. Get Roma Muscatel tomorrow. Insist on Roma, R-O-M-A, for uniformly fine wine quality at low cost. That's why more Americans enjoy Roma than any other wine.
And now, Roma Wines bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Lee Bowman as Kenny in Cornell Woolrich's story of a vanishing lady, I Won't Take a Minute. A play well calculated to keep you in suspense.
The cop on the beat was a nice guy. He rang every bell in every flat of the building and questioned the occupants. No one had heard anything. No one had seen her. Finally, a single plainclothes man was dropped off at the door. Lieutenant Gilman. He kept calling me Bud. He looked around the empty flat, then he looked at me.
Bud, there's nothing to show that this girl or anyone else came in here.
I tell you, she rang the bell of this flat, and someone released the door catch for her from up here.
All right. Assuming she got in here, how'd she get out?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the fire is...
Look at those windows. Look at the dust on these frames. A person can't move in a place like this without it showing.
Listen, don't do this to me, will you? You make it sound like she didn't come here with me at all.
That's what it does sound like, Bud.
Look, I was taking her to the concert tonight. We go every Thursday. Here's our ticket.
I think we better build this thing from the ground up and see what we've got. Now, what's this girl's name?
Stephanie. Stephanie Riska.
Address?
120 Farragut.
Uh-huh. What's she look like?
Well, she comes up to about here next to me. She's blonde, little curls close to her head, blue eyes. I'm no good at description.
Don't let it get you, Bud.
I'm not scared because she's gone. I'm scared because she's gone in such a crazy way. I can't get a grip on her.
Now, you say you met her at 6:15 outside the Bailey Goodwin building with a package to be delivered here. Who'd she work for?
A press clipping service. The Green Star it's called. It's operated by a guy named Hessen.
Big outfit?
Just him and a secretary and an office boy. She was getting $22 a week.
All right, Bud. You've given me something definite. We'll do some checking. But first of all, we go back to the place she worked. Oh, what a telephone booth.
She told me the place was small, but I never figured on this. Not even a window.
All right. Let's have a look. Desk. Filing cabinet. Yeah, clippings. Well, so far, your story checks. Except for one thing.
What's that?
There's no file for anyone named Muller.
Oh.
This must be her desk.
Yeah.
Shears, glue, clips. Not much of a personal touch here, not even a hair pick. Uh-oh.
Find something?
Nothing special.
Well, you found something there. I saw you drop it in an envelope and stick it in your pocket.
Listen, Bud, who's running this investigation, you or me?
Sorry. You, I guess.
Okay, let's keep it that way.
Our next stop was one of those bungalow-type places in the outskirts. That was where Hessen lived, the guy she worked for.
Oh, good evening.
Good evening. You Mr. Hudson?
That's right.
I'm from police headquarters. May I come in?
Oh, certainly. Won't you sit down, gentlemen?
We won't take up much of your time, sir. First of all, do you know anyone named Muller at 415 Martin Street?
No, I don't know anyone by that name. I think we have a Miller, a Mrs. Elsie Miller on our list, who divorces and marries quite frequently. Will that do? She owes us $29.
You didn't send a package over to Muller, apartment 4B, 415 Martin Street at 6:15 this evening?
No, I'm sure I didn't. But wait a minute. It's easy enough to confirm that. Oh, Stephanie.
Steffi.
Did you call me, Mr. Hessen?
Yes, my dear. Oh, this is my assistant gentleman, Miss Stephanie Riska.
That isn't Steffi. He's calling somebody else by her name.
My dear young man.
understand.
She came out of that building while I was waiting. I spoke to her.
We'll discuss that later. Now then, miss, how long have you been working for Mr. Hessen?
Since October of last year. About 8 months now.
And your name is Stephanie Riska?
Why, yes, of course.
Have you any identification on you?
I don't know. Maybe there is something here in my handbag.
You mind if I look?
It's all right, my dear. He's from the police.
Oh, well, in that case.
Thank you.
Listen, I don't know what these two are trying to pull, but she's not Steffi. You've got to believe me. She came out of that building dressed like Steffi. The way Steffi was dressed when she went in.
Stop that, will you? Thank you, Miss Riska. I'm sorry to inconvenience.
It's quite all right.
I I noticed you have quite a supply of chewing gum there. That's hard to get these days.
I make a hobby of it. Have some?
Oh, thanks. My mouth's kind of dry. Well, Mr. Hester...
It's quite all right. I don't know what this young man has got himself mixed up in, but if we were able to help...
Oh, you did help a lot, sir. Come along, Bud. I've got some more checking to do. This time, it's on you. Okay, Bud, now start talking. Spill it. What's your pitch?
I told you the truth. That girl wasn't Steffi. I never saw her before.
Was the man Hessen?
Oh, he looked just like him.
This girl of yours, what kind of gum did she chew?
She didn't chew gum. She hated it.
You asked me what it was I picked up back there in the office. Well, here's what it was. A wad of gum stuck under the edge of the desk. That girl back there at Hessen's place belongs in an office, Bud. She had a letter addressed to herself in that handbag and her initials on the outside of it. It wasn't a new one and it wasn't fake. What's your racket, Bud? Are you a pushover for mental observation? Or did you do something to some little blonde, blue-eyed number, and are you trying to pass the buck before we even found out about it?
I don't know. Maybe I am nuts. Things like this... Well, things like this just don't happen. They can't. One minute she walks into a building...
You haven't produced a single personnel even long that actually laid eyes on this girl of yours. Where's the folks? Where'd she come from?
Wisconsin, I think. Her folks are all dead.
I thought so. Well, I'll give you one more spin for your money, Bud. You stand or fall by the place you say she lived. Have you been there?
Yes.
Could you describe it?
Okay. Sticking in the mirror of the dresser, she's got a litho of the Holy Mother. On the radiator, she's got a rag doll that I won for at Coney Island. On a little shelf against the wall, she's got a gas ring with a tube running up to the jet. From the light fixture to the jet, there's a string attached. And she'll have stockings hanging there to dry. Are you listening?
Yeah, go on.
Will you remember those things?
Yeah, Bud. We'll see. Now listen, Bud. Get this straight. I don't want one word out of you the whole time we're here, you hear?
I won't say a word. So help me.
Yes?
You got a girl named Stephanie Risker living here?
Second floor front. She ain't home now.
I'm from the police. I think you better let us in.
Oh, well, certainly.
Let's see her room, please.
Yeah, follow me. She's a nice, clean roomer. I'd hate to lose her. I hope she's not in any trouble.
No trouble.
Now, Gilman, right over there. Hey, it's changed. They've changed it all around.
Shut up. Has she always had it fixed this way, ma'am?
Well, since the first day she's here. Only one thing I got to complain about. There it is again, chewing gum. She leaves it all over.
Let's see that. I thought so. Exhibit C, Bud. Same as the other two. She belongs in that office and she belongs in this room.
Look out. You better hold your friend.
Let him hold. This isn't anything to the falls he's going to be taking 5 or 10 minutes from now.
What'd he do? Murder her?
Not her, but I've got a good hunch he murdered someone and picked the wrong number and name out of a hat.
I didn't hear any more they said while we were going down the stairs. The light bulbs in the place were doing funny things, turning red, spinning around in spirals. I was still on my feet, but I suppose you'd notice it. The spinning didn't stop till we got to the foot of the stairs. The thing that stopped it was an umbrella stand beside the front door. It had a knotty walking stick jutting up out of it. I grabbed it in my free hand as he walked me past it.
Watch out, Lieutenant. He's going to...
Hey, you...
I didn't stop to investigate whether I'd killed him or only knocked him out. I was a block down the street before the landlady could open her mouth to scream. I made for the Martine Street flat. That was instinctive. The place I'd last seen her, calling me back. When I got there, I ganged up on the janitor's bell and waited 1,000 years.
Oh, it's you again. What is it? Didn't you find her yet? What happened to that detective fellow that was with you?
He sent me back to take another look. You don't have to come up. Just give me the pass key.
All right, son. Come on in. My
head was still spinning when I let myself in at the door of apartment 4B. I don't know what I was looking for. Some clue, I guess. Some magic clue that would pop up and give her back to me. I tested the walls for secret panels. What a laugh, and a $50 a month flat. I dug out plaster with my bare nails, cased the cracks between the floorboards. I'd been there about 10 minutes when I heard steps coming up the hall. I held my breath.
All right, Sonny. Come out of there with your hands up or I commit shoot.
Give me a minute, please. 1 minute. Maybe I'll find it.
Find what?
Please, 1 minute.
If you want out of there by the time I count 10, I commit shoot. Do you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
1, 2, 3.
I didn't stop the thing. I crossed the room and threw open the window. The one that opened on the fire escape. Down looked too far, so I started climbing.
Hey! Come out of there, you! I'll break every bone in your body. You won't live to get into headquarters.
I didn't yell back at him. I was saving my breath.
Come on, after him. Keep that light on him.
On the roof, I took a quick look both directions. There was about a yard-high partition wall dividing it from the next roof over. But before I could get it...
Hold the fire. He won't make it. Keep that light focused on his eyes. He may be fainting.
I think I busted my leg.
Well, let's see. Now, just bark your shin a little. Oh, wait till I finish with you, wise guy.
Oh, what are you waiting for? Go ahead. You promised me a beating. Go ahead.
Don't you worry. Hey, where did that come from?
What?
That package there beside you.
Package? Package. That's it. The package she took inside with her.
Hold that light steady.
What's in it? What is it?
Newspapers. Newspapers. It's a dummy.
Look, those papers. They've had stuff clipped out of them. That proves they came from Hessman's clipping agency. Well, doesn't it?
Someone did bring a package here tonight. Oh, what a sap I've been. I kept thinking about that room. She was never in that room. I was right about that. They must have grabbed her in the hall and taken her straight up here to the roof through the skylight.
But why?
I don't know. Maybe that steel-plated landlady knows, and if she does, she's going to talk and talk fast. All right, Grandma, come on, spill it.
You can't scare me. I've got bigger men than you on my side.
What do you mean, your side?
Wouldn't you like to know? All I have to do is make one telephone call. I have the number right here.
Let's see that number.
Take it. Call it yourself.
Who gave you that number?
Ask me no questions. I'll tell you no lies.
Who gave you this number?
The FBI man who was here. Now you know who I'm working for. Go ahead. Call the number.
Oh, I get it. Tell me, Grandma, what did this FBI man look like? All right, I'll tell you. All you have to do is say yes or no. The guy's about my height, bald, wears pinch glasses, right?
Maybe.
He got you to work with him so this woman he described as one of his agents could step into the identity of this Stephanie Whisker, right?
You seem to know all about it.
I know more than that. He wasn't an FBI man, and the girl who took Stephanie Whisker's place was not a federal agent.
Well, then who was he?
I'm not sure, Grandma, but I've got a hunch. Calhoun! Yo! Calhoun, get out to Heston's place, Myrtle Avenue, fast, and keep us spotted till we get there.
Gilman, do you think she's already...
I don't know. Keep your fingers crossed, bud, and pray. Where are they? I told them to keep this house covered.
Gone. Nobody here.
Yeah. Hey, douse that light, douse that. Stand back against the wall. Somebody's coming.
Gentlemen, you in here?
Calhoun, what's the big idea? I told you to keep this place spotted. Now they're gone.
I tailed them. They piled into a car, locked up the house, and left.
Where to?
Pier 7, North River. They got in some kind of a fuzzy tramp steamer and it shoved off in less than a quarter of an hour. I tried to reach
Was the other girl with him?
No, 2 men in a stringy blonde they call Alger. That's all.
Too late. We're too late.
We can pull them off at quarantine. I'll make them talk. Come on, let's get out of here and get some fresh air.
Thanks, don't it?
Yeah. Smells like they'd had the place fumigated or something. Hey,
What's the matter?
that smell. That's gasoline.
Gasoline.
I hear something. A clock.
The basement. Come on. Yeah, she's down there all right. Go back upstairs, bud. I'll pick her up.
Tell me now. Don't wait till you get her.
Yes, she's alive. Come on, get her out of here. Don't you hear that sticking?
I better wet that bomb.
Come back here, Calhoun. You'll never make it. That bomb will blow you. She'll be around a second or two.
How's Calhoun?
Burned pretty bad. It was an incendiary.
Kenny.
Oh, baby, it's okay.
Sure. Everything's okay now, Steffi.
Who are you?
This is Lieutenant Gilman. We owe a lot to him, Steffi.
Thanks, Lieutenant Gilman.
I'm just a dumb flatfoot, Steffi. And I had to be conked over the head before I got wise to what was going on. Even then, I didn't figure it right. I figured Heston and his pals were a bunch of spies or something.
Well, weren't they?
Well, Heston became an American citizen in 1929. Up to now, his record's absolutely clean.
Oh, I'm glad of that. I'd hate to be working for a spy.
But I don't get it. Why did they want Steffi out of the way?
That was Olga's doing, the girl who was impersonating you, Steffi. You see, she's Heston's sister. She's a fugitive from a couple of war crimes and figured the least her brother could do for her was to furnish her with a nice, clean nationality. Their original plan was to bump Steffi off in that empty flat and leave her there without anything to identify her. Only they figured on her coming there alone. There was no time to work out a plan on the spot, so they scrammed over the roof, taking Steffi with them.
Hey, Gilman, we're due at headquarters. You coming?
Yeah, run away. Well, I gotta go, kid.
Thanks, Gilman. Thanks for everything.
I'm glad to help you out. Hey, another thing, Bud, you weren't lying about. She is pretty.
No hard feelings? I mean, about me hitting you over the head?
Oh, say, I almost forgot. Something I meant to give you before we say goodnight.
Oh, you've done enough.
Oh, that's what you think.
It was a while before I knew what hit me. Felt like a cement mixer. When my head cleared, Steffi and I had changed roles. She was the one bending over me.
And he said to tell you no hard feelings, but when anyone socks Dick Gilman with a walking stick, they get socked back, even if they're the best of friends.
He said that, did he?
Does it still hurt?
I'm still seeing stars.
Oh, gee, Kenny, I'm sorry.
I don't care. I'm seeing you, too.
Listen, it's midnight.
Yeah. Only 12 days to the wedding now, baby. We've licked the 13th.
Roma Wines have brought you Lee Bowman as star of I Won't Take a Minute. Tonight's study in Suspense.
This is Truman Bradley for Roma Wines, the sponsor of Suspense. This year, you're probably having difficulty finding the Christmas gifts you want. Why not solve your gift problems with famous Roma Wines? You flatter your friends, save both time and money shopping. Roma offers you a full selection of choice California wines. For entertaining, Roma Sherry, Port, Muscatel, or Tokay. For added mealtime enjoyment, red, robust Roma Burgundy or delicate pale gold Sauterne. For happy occasions that demand the best, sparkling, unforgettable Roma Champagne. Each of these fine Roma wines is a true wine, each a superb, unhurriedly perfected masterpiece of the vintner's ancient art. Delight your friends this Christmas with gifts of Roma wines. Give one bottle, several, or a case. Remember, more Americans enjoy Roma than any other wine. And Roma wines now offer you the same uniformly fine quality at the lowest prices in years. Insist on Roma, R-O-M-A, fine Roma wines for good living, good giving this Christmas.
Lee Bowman appeared through the courtesy of Columbia Pictures and will soon be seen co-starring with Rosalind Russell in their production, She Wouldn't Say Yes. Next Thursday, same time, Roma Wines will bring you Mr. Robert Taylor as star of Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills.
Presented by Roma Wines, R-O-M-A, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Now, Roma Wines, R-O-M-A, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world. Roma Wines present the MGM star Robert Taylor in Suspense.
Tonight, Roma Wines bring you Mr. Robert Taylor as star of The Argyle Album, a suspense play produced, edited, and directed for Roma Wines by William Spear.
Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills, is presented for your enjoyment by Roma Wines. That's R-O-M-A, Roma Wines. Those wines that can California wines that can add so much pleasantness to the way you live, to your happiness and entertaining guests, to your enjoyment of everyday meals. Yes, right now a glassful would be as Roma Wines bring you Mr. Robert Taylor in a remarkable tale of suspense.
Back when I got my first job on the Herald, Alan Pierce was its star reporter. A little later, he went to Washington and became top dog of all syndicated political columnists. Pierce could tell you what the president said when he didn't like his breakfast, or what was getting paid off, or what, by whom, and how much. He was a national big shot, so naturally his coming back to the hometown last January got local front page. Especially since the first thing happens, he checks into the Belden General Hospital from a heart attack. Heart attack he had on the train right as it pulled into the station. Quite an entrance, and timed. Remember, well, maybe you remember. Just when 22 million anxious readers were waiting for his promised expose of the contents of the Argyle album, the thing he'd been building up in his columns for about 2 weeks before. Teapot Dome was going to be a church club misunderstanding compared to this. Naturally, all the boys hung around the anteroom of his hospital suite during visiting hours, but nobody from the press cracked the door to the sick room for the first 3 days. Then on the fourth morning, Ben Sullivan, the doctor, came smiling out into the anteroom to us.
Good morning, gentlemen. Gentlemen, Mr. Pierce would have willingly seen you all the first day. Of course, as his medical advisor, I couldn't permit anything of the sort. However, today I'll allow you to see him one at a time. I suggest that you gentlemen draw straws or something for 10. That is, except the man from the Herald. Mr. Pierce asked expressly to see him first.
The Herald man, that's
is
me.
The Herald representative here?
Yeah, right over here, Doctor.
Do you want to come in now?
Right with you, Doctor. Pinky, come here.
Yeah, Harry.
Dr. Van Selben, this is Mr. Melvin Pincus, the Herald's best and, believe me, the quietest photographer. He's very good for patients. I wondered...
I'm afraid not, Mr. Mitchell.
Okay, Doc. Stand by, Pinky. Right.
Nurse, let this gentleman in. I'll be on the 5th floor.
Hello there. Say, you're Harry Mitchell, aren't you?
That's right, Mr. Pierce.
Just make it Al.
Right, Al.
So you're young Mitchell. Well, how time flies. I spoke to the old man on the phone. I said, send your next Alan Pierce over, and he sent you. Do you consider that a compliment?
Compliment? I'm going to hit him for a nice fat raise.
Well, Harry, have you got your questions all written down like a good reporter should?
No, I don't work that way.
Neither do I. I suppose you want to know what the Argyle album is.
Yeah, that's about it, only it's your business, whatever it is, so I can't ask it.
You're a smart boy.
But I'll ask anyhow. What is the Argyle album?
Good. Now, how shall I begin?
You're not really going to tell me.
Harry, it's got to a point where I think I ought to share it with somebody. Preferably somebody like myself, who thinks like me. But I'm going to ask you not to use this unless I'm not in a position to.
It's a deal.
Well, you know what an album is. This is quite a fancy-looking one. White-tooled, leather-bound, and a flaming crimson double-headed eagle crest etched on the cover. It's an impressive item.
Maybe you better take it easy, Mr. Pierce.
You were going to call me Al.
Okay, Al, maybe you better just...
No, I'm all right. It's... I guess I'm a little dizzy.
You want the doctor?
No, just a drink. A drink of water, please.
He leaned back on his pillow, breathing terribly. There was a thermos on the bedstand that turned out empty. I grabbed a glass and ran into the bathroom, filled it from the tap. I'll be right there, Al boy, I called, and when there was no answer, I just about guessed what it was. Mr. Pierce. Al. Stood there for a while, feeling awfully bad, thinking awfully hard. I finally figured an idea. Hey, Pinky!
Huh? Oh, here I am, General. Is he going to pose?
Yeah, he's going to pose. Come on in here. Pinky, look at him. He's dead.
Huh?
Passed out while we were talking. This is our beat. It's big. It's a scoop. I don't want those other tin horns out there cutting in.
What are you going to do?
I'm going out and phone. You stay here and don't let anybody through that door.
You're not letting me along with him.
An old hound like you, are you kidding?
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I went out to the pay station in the hall and phoned in the story. Then I found Dr. Van Selvin on the 5th floor and broke the news. Between the 5th and the 7th floor, where Pierce's suite was, we picked up the chief surgeon, superintendent, 4 nurses, and litter bearers and attendants. We went through the anteroom where the reporters were. The newspaper boys smelled something was up. Nobody let them in Pierce's room. The official hospital gang and me barged in and headed straight to the bed where the corpse was. I got a funny feeling. Pinky wasn't in the room. Dr. Van Selvin and the chief surgeon went over to the bed and pulled back the covers, and you could feel the shock go through the whole crowd. A long steel scalpel was sticking right up in the middle of Alan Pierce's chest. Lieutenant Horselip Sampson, who was top man in homicide, strutted in and took over. He got the story from us and just sat there for a while thinking. Very professional, exuding brilliance. His Majesty spoke.
Dr. Van Selvin.
Yes, sir?
In your opinion, did your patient die from a heart attack, as our reporter friend here claims, or from the knife wound?
I can't really tell you yet. Indications are that it might be either. You see, in either case, the heart was stopped.
Yeah, the heart usually stops in case of death, doesn't it, Doc? The only thing is, I took his pulse before I left the room. There was no pulse. That scalpel could just as well have been stuck in a loaf of bread for all the damage.
Mitchell, why did you leave a dead man unreported? Why'd you leave that photographer here without telling the nurse?
I was a reporter with a scoop. Who'd you expect me to leave here? Somebody from the Express?
Nurse, were you outside the door the whole time?
Yes, sir, with the reporters. And nobody came out except Mr. Mitchell. The photographer went in, but he never came out.
No. Take a gander in the bathroom, Haggerty.
There's nobody here, kid.
Michelson, are those windows locked?
Yes, sir.
Locked room case, Horselip. Should bring out your Scotland Yard training.
Mitchell, you're in too tough a spot to be fresh. Oh, if I could just get an angle. Must be an angle.
He got up, sore, and started looking around himself. He walked over to the white bed screen in the corner. It's funny, it stood there all the time. Such a natural piece of hospital equipment, you never noticed it. But now, even before he touched it, I knew what he'd find there. He started to pull it aside like somebody looking hopelessly in any unlikely spot for a lost collar button. But before he had his hand on it, I was at the door. I was practically on my way out to the anteroom when they let the screen fall over, showing Pinky all huddled up among his photographic equipment with a surgeon's scalpel sticking out of his neck.
Hey, Michelson! Get him!
I yelled at the reporters in the anteroom that they could go in now. The crowd coming out after me met the crowd going in, and I was in the corridor while they argued it out. I was around the corner in the elevator before they got to the car. And I was in a borrowed ambulance before anybody could ask embarrassing questions. I walked right through the Waldorf lobby and up to the 2nd floor. Nobody said a thing. Time was still with me. I knew Pierce's secretary was keeping suite 213 for him until he was supposed to get out of the hospital.
One moment. Yes?
May I come in?
Well...
I'm a friend of Mr. Pierce's, Mitchell the Herald.
Well, what is it, Mr. Mitchell? Something I can do?
Yeah, would you let me rifle your boss's desk, files, papers, and possessions? I'll put them back real neat. There's something I have to find.
Are you crazy?
I was afraid that'd be your answer.
What are you going to do?
I'm sorry.
Don't.
I really am. And it really was. I didn't like to hit a woman, especially that cute. I searched that suite top and bottom, but if Pierce ever had the Argyle album, he took no chances keeping it around. I found his personal address book. I figured it was no more use to him, and it might be to me. Now, I needed a place where I could sit down and think. Then I remembered I was carrying a key from my pal Joe Walsh's apartment while he was sunning himself somewhere in Florida. At least nobody could figure my going there. At Walsh's place, I spent about 20 minutes with Pierce's address book. He had Washington phone numbers in it that hadn't been in public directories for the last 30 years. But there was one in this town that had a red crayon circle around it. It was a query. Jor Brod, Jor, capital B-R-O-D, on Worcester Street. Not the kind of neighborhood that Alan Pierce usually socialized in. I was just about deciding I'd go see this Jorabrod when somebody decided to pay me a visit. I checked through the keyhole. Didn't see much, but what there was to see was female, so I took my chances and opened the door. She stood there, about 5'7", of the most interesting stuff I ever remember seeing. Not young, mind you, nor angelic, but gorgeous and smart-looking and sweet-voiced.
Hello there.
Who are you?
May I come in?
Yeah, sure, it's your risk. Who are you?
You may call me Marla, Mr. Mitchell, and I want the Argyle album.
Just like that?
No, not just like that. I could be nasty, you know. After all, the police want you.
Somehow, Marla, that doesn't worry me at all. I just don't think you make it a policy to have traffic with the police.
An astute youngster. I like you.
I like you, too, but I haven't time.
I'll give you $500 for it.
I don't even know what it is. What is the Argyle album?
10,000.
Without a breath, that's some jump.
10,000?
I'm really sorry, Marla.
That's what I wanted to know. It's not for sale. Very well.
She moved so casually and directly to the door and opened it so quickly that I hadn't even gotten out of my chair before her two boyfriends stepped in. The first one looked like a round-faced, pleasant businessman. Hair slightly gray, nice smile. But the one who followed him had the square, low-cut, irresistible appearance of a medium-sized tank.
Mr. Winter and Mr. Hovry. Mr. Mitchell.
How do you do?
Mr. Mitchell.
Hi, Mr. Mitchell.
He's not terribly cooperative.
Oh, no?
He doesn't perform, not for love nor for money. Very stubborn.
Well, she really didn't try love, Mr. Winter.
From what I know of Marla, that's hard to believe, eh, Marla? So you're stubborn, Mr. Mitchell. A stubborn murderer.
I'll repeat my question. What is the Argyle album?
My. You are a gifted actor.
Well, never mind. Forget it, Mr. Winter.
Isn't $10,000 enough? That's the best we can offer and still make a profit.
Let's not waste time.
Have it your way, son. Gil!
The big guy stepped toward me. I ducked and took the table between us. Gil pushed it aside like it was matchwood. His left hand lashed out, and he had the lapels of my coat, and I was lifting until only my shoe tips touched the floor. I was helpless as a baby. He started slapping my face, front hand and back. It kept up and up like a flick on the drums, and the agony was unbearable. He stopped. I waited like you wait between pauses at the dentist's drill, multiplied by 1,000,000. I must have moved suddenly because I saw the small eyes flicker and a huge fist come swinging in my face. I wanted to duck, but I couldn't. My hands were torn from the front of my face, and it came, shocks of intolerable pain like searing flames. Then the flames flickered and went out.
For Suspense, Roma Wines are bringing you as star Mr. Robert Taylor in The Argyle Album by Cyril Endfield. Roma Wines' presentation tonight in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Between the acts of Suspense, this is Truman Bradley for Roma Wines. Happy days ahead. The gay, festive season when guests call, and hospitality is the order of the day. And what better order for your guests than Roma California Sherry? Yes, serving delicious Roma Sherry is a gracious American custom. As an appetizer, Roma Sherry is the perfect first call for dinner. And because Gold and Amber Roma Sherry is a mellow wine with tempting fragrance, natural sweetness, and nut-like taste, it's a delightful treat any time. If you prefer a dry sherry, Roma California Pale Dry Sherry is made especially to suit your taste. For smart hospitality, get both Roma sherries and give your guests their choice. Like all Roma wines, Roma Sherry is a true wine, unvaryingly good always. And Roma's new low prices save you as much as 1/4. Insist on Roma, R-O-M-A, Roma wines, for uniformly fine quality at low cost. Remember, more Americans enjoy Roma than any other wine. And now Roma Wines bring back to our Hollywood sound stage Robert Taylor as reporter Harry Mitchell
in The Argyle Album, a play well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Come on, now wake up. Poor boy, that's right.
I was
Come on, wake
in the
up.
bedroom of the apartment. Marla was bathing my forehead with a damp handkerchief.
That's right.
I'll lay quiet until things cleared up a bit.
That's it. Rest a little, that's the boy.
Marla,
Where's the album, darling? Where's the album?
I swear I don't know. I don't know.
You don't want me to call him again, do you, Harry?
No, please.
They're both in the kitchen. I'm supposed to help you wake up and then call.
No, just don't.
If you haven't got it, do you know where it is?
I swear, Marla, I swear I don't even know what it is. All I know is it's tool white leather or something.
You don't? You don't? All right. Here's what I know. Winter found it originally. He was in occupied Europe then. He doesn't admit it, but I think he was the leader of a looting party after an American raid. It was a sheaf of documents recording the transfer of large sums of money by certain individuals, both German and American. Big men who wanted to make sure that they'd come out right no matter whose armies won. Winter knew that he'd found a fortune that day, a fortune in blackmail.
Well, what happened?
He kept it in a public locker in a bus station. Normally the safest place in the world. It was in a town down here in Virginia, Argyle. On a 1,000,000-to-1 twist, he lost it. A gang of young hoodlums blew open that section with a dynamite stick. And it's been missing ever since, until Alan Pierce started hinting about it in his column and the international scandal it involved. So, when Pierce died, you see, Winter had a right to suspect that Pierce's murderer might have the album. Naturally, the big men wanted too. Lots of people wanted badly. Including me.
You? What for?
Resale value.
I see. That's a decent motive.
I'm a decent person.
Yeah, you are. Come here.
You're nice. You're a nice boy.
You know, I could just press my thumbs here at your windpipe, and you couldn't even yell.
You don't think I'd have given you a chance like this if I really cared?
You're not kidding me.
That's the excuse I'll give to Winter. That you choked me and I couldn't yell. You go down the fire escape. I'll give you plenty of time before I call him.
I don't figure. What's in it for you?
We'll see each other again, won't we? You'll find it. Hurry up.
Okay, honey, you ask for it.
Not too hard.
It was a funny experience choking a woman deliberately. I squeezed pretty hard, scuffing bruises at her throat to make it look good. I got so mixed up I didn't know what I was doing. I took her once and kissed her very hard. I ripped her clothes a little and then mussed her hair, and when she looked pretty battered, I kissed her again and crawled out on the fire escape and down. I gave the cabbie the Worcester Street address from Pierce's book. It was a junkyard. Jor Brod's junkyard.
What do you want?
Are you Mr. Brod? Jor Brod?
That's my name. What you want?
The Argyle album.
What? Oh, did you? Oh, I know you. You are that Mitchell guy the police want for the murder of Ellen Pierce. If you move, I'll kill you.
I got you figured, Brod. You're the fence for all the juvenile crooks around here. Some junkyard.
I'm on a lots better terms with the cops than you are, Mitchell, and I'm phoning them right now.
Sure. One of your kids brought you a nice white leather book with a two-headed eagle on it. Maybe you stretched and gave him 2 bits for it. Then you found you had something too big for a little guy. You knew it was worth dough, but your stomach wasn't tough enough for big-time blackmail, so you figured a way to be a right guy and still make dough. Sell it to Alan Pierce.
Selling's no crime.
I'm really guessing, but good, huh?
No.
You invested the price of a couple of photostats and a train ticket to Washington. You got to Pierce and sold him the photostats and told him he'd have to come here for the rest.
There's nothing to keep me from killing you right now.
No, I guess not.
Sure not. You're a fugitive, aren't you? An escaped killer. They wouldn't touch me.
Wait a minute. Don't.
Well, don't you even say thanks when your life is saved?
Thanks. Nice shot.
Don't mention it. Do you wonder how I knew you were here?
You watched me take the cab from the window and got the number. I know that one now.
You're bright as well as nice. Maybe we can play this game together now that we have the album.
Have we?
Well, it can't be far in the desk drawer or the filing cabinet.
I think we both saw Brod move at the same time. The gun at the edge of his fingers was somehow in his hands again. It wavered weakly between Marla and me. It was like watching a slow-motion movie. Marla didn't waste time. I saw the Swede's little body jump as the slug tore into it, but his gun kept waving, and it went off. Marla sighed and fell down at my feet. She smiled at me once. That's all. I walked through 3 cops in the halls of the police station, getting no more reaction than a nod of greeting, and entered Horselip Sampson's office.
Oh, thanks for the phone call, Mitchell, but you gave us a bum steer. What's your angle?
Bum stare. I saw the shooting.
We found the woman, very dead indeed, but there was no man.
Sure, Brad. He didn't look alive when I saw him last.
Well, he wasn't there.
Well, I'm only telling you what I saw.
Now, what do you expect us to do with you?
Oh, book me on suspicion of murder.
The murder of who, might I ask?
Alan Pearce, naturally.
Hey, do you want to confess?
It's not bargain day today, Lieutenant.
Well, it's just an angle.
Say, did the autopsy on Pearce come through?
I was wondering why you gave yourself up, yeah. He died of heart failure, like you claimed, only because he was so loaded with dope even a normal heart would give out.
Dope? You mean poison?
Same thing. Too much medicine. And Dr. Van Selbin, the one who dosed him, has disappeared. Took a powder. You're not even runner-up for suspect now, Mitchell.
Hey, maybe the one who stuck the scalpel into Pearce just wanted to create suspicious circumstances around the death just to be sure there'd be an autopsy.
That's an angle.
And how about Pinky? And how did the murderer get in and out of the room?
Well, that's an angle. Hey, look, Mitchell, do you want to be held?
No, I don't.
Then stop asking questions I can't answer. Go on, beat it.
Still wanted to crack it. I found myself nursing a deep belief that there must be equal justice for the murderers of a man I loved, another I respected, and a woman I admired. There was only one place I could figure where to start. I picked my way through Jor Brod's junkyard. The shapes of skeleton cars stood out dark in the moonlight. At the far end of the yard was a lighted shack. I went up to it, almost to the door. Somebody pushed from behind, and my own body knocked the door open.
Get in there.
Brod was propped up in a chair facing me, his eyes wide. Winter stood beside him, and Gil walked up from behind me alongside.
Get in there.
Come in, Mitchell.
Thanks.
Well, Mr. Mitchell, this is a proper ending. Another demonstration of the ascendancy of will.
Is he alive?
Who? Oh, Brod here. No, not now. He was very weak and had no resistance. But we learned what we needed. He had the album, quite cleverly hidden. But we have it now. Here, want to see it?
Thanks. Say, who hired Dr. Van Selbin to kill Pearce?
A very powerful and very wealthy individual, most concerned with retrieving the album, Mr. Mitchell.
But you didn't want it to be heart failure. You wanted to force an autopsy. That's why you stuck the scalpel into the corpse.
That's rather clever of you, Mr. Mitchell.
In the hospital, you were dressed as an attendant, right? You got behind that bed screen sometime early in the day, probably early in the morning before Pearce woke up, right? You were willing to wait a long time for what you wanted.
It was very tiresome.
You hoped to find out from Pearce where he'd hidden the album. You found out instead that Pearce didn't have it. But you knew that Pearce was going to die anyhow from the overdose, so you decided to put the doctor in a compromising position with a scalpel, forcing the autopsy. There's only one conceivable reason for you to have placed yourself in a hazardous position just for the sake of compromising the doctor.
And what, may I ask, can that conceivable reason be?
That you are the powerful and wealthy individual who got Dr. Van Selbin to do Pearce's murder. That you're no more Mr. Winter than I am.
Well...
The original Mr. Winter who smuggled the album out of Europe, you eliminated when he first tried to blackmail you and your fellow thieves. By that line of reasoning, I was able to do a little research in the files of my reporter's memory. And in spite of the fact that you have no mustache and that there are several other slight physical changes that could easily be adjusted, you have an amazing resemblance to the very powerful, very wealthy Mr. Gerald K. Avery.
Huh? What's that?
A theory. But isn't this indulgence in violence a strange occupation for a man like Gerald Avery?
Not at all, Mr. Avery. A man doesn't become an international power by going to Sunday school every week. You decided nobody could do your dirty work for you better than yourself. I suppose you felt you needed help, so you got a professional adventuress like Marla to work with you, on the grounds that you yourself were an adventurer, a blackmailer. Same goes for Gil here.
Your time's run over, Mitchell.
And Pinky. Of course, it doesn't bother you that you killed a nice guy with a nice family. To you, he was only in the way. You stuck the scalpel into Pierce's corpse to save yourself some more trouble. The trouble of paying off Dr. Van Selden. He'll probably show up floating. You dragged Pinky behind the screen, and you got behind with him and hid. Then when all the doctors and attendants broke into the room and rushed around Pierce's bed, you stepped out casually from behind the screen and mingled with the crowd. You were dressed for the part.
As a reporter, Mr. Mitchell, would you describe that exploit as daring or brilliant?
Oh, Mr. Avery, I'd use the word selfish, traitorous, foul.
Your morality sickens me. No, Mitchell.
There's only one more thing you didn't count on. Gil here.
Gil has nothing to do with this.
Oh, yes,
Keep
he has.
your mouth shut,
I'll do nothing
Mitchell.
of the sort. I'll tell Gil.
Let him talk.
Why, Gil, you fool. Let go of my arm.
Let him talk.
Thanks, Gil. And just keep hold of his arm, will you?
Talk.
Okay. As I was saying, Mr. Avery, you forgot that Marla and Gil have been playing along with you because they figured you were their kind. There's a certain honor among little crooks, but not among you big-timers, Mr. Avery. Now you have the album that couldn't hurt anybody but yourself. Who's to blackmail? Where's the payoff? Gil's wondering what's going to protect his interests, aren't you, Gil? He knows now what's happened to Dr. Van Selden. You see, he figured you for an honest crook, not a big-timer.
You're not listening to him, Gil. He's only playing for time. Only trying to save his own miserable skin. I'll pay you off, Gil. I'll pay you more than you ever dreamed.
So, you really are Gerald K. Avery, huh?
Don't be an idiot, Gil. You cooperate with me.
That was a bad mistake for Mr. Gerald K. Avery. You see, he figured his gun was bigger than Gil. He moved fast, but not quite fast enough. The lead that hit Gil in the shoulder, but didn't even seem to faze him. I understand he broke Avery's arm. That's when Avery screamed. The next blow broke Avery's neck. There was an awful lot of excitement because Horselip Shadows caught up with the proceedings just about this time, and the details aren't too clear. All I know is that it had been a big day, and I was awfully tired. I went home, climbed into bed, put my head on a nice pillow made of tooled white leather, and slept a long, long time.
Suspense, starring Robert Taylor in the Argyle album.
Presented by Roma Wines, R-O-M-A, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world. 11 more shopping days to Christmas. No shopping worry for those who plan to give fine Roma wines this year. Roma wines are easy to buy, always welcome. And gifts of Roma wine can be as impressive as you wish. One bottle, several, or a case in colorful wrappings. Says famed hostess Elsa Maxwell, gifts of Roma wines are always in perfect good taste. Flatter your friends. Save time and money with gifts of Roma, California Sauterne, or Burgundy. Delicate, pale gold Roma Sauterne, red, robust Roma Burgundy make meals more flavorful, more friendly. Remember, all Roma wines are true wines from selected grapes, unhurriedly guided to taste perfection, then bottled at the wineries in California. Now, Roma's increased sales make possible new low prices. No wonder more Americans enjoy Roma than any other wine. Insist on Roma, R-O-M-A, Roma wines for good living, good giving this Christmas.
Robert Taylor appeared by courtesy of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, producers of They Were Expendable. Next Thursday, same time, Roma Wines will bring you Keenan Wynn and Hume Cronin as stars of Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills.
Produced by William Spear for the Roma Wine Company of Fresno, California. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Now, Roma Wines, R-O-M-A, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world. Roma Wines present Suspense. Tonight, Roma Wines bring you Mr. Keenan Wynn and Mr. Hume Cronin as stars of Double Entry, a suspense play produced, edited, and directed for Roma Wines by William Spear. Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills, is presented for your enjoyment by Roma Wines. That's R-O-M-A, Roma Wines. Those excellent California wines that can add so much pleasantness to the way you live, to your happiness in entertaining guests, to your enjoyment of everyday meals. Yes, right now a glassful would be very pleasant, as Roma Wines bring you two of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's deftest comedy players, Keenan Wynn, who is currently being seen in What Next, Corporal Hargrove, and Hume Cronin, soon to be seen in Letters for Evie.
Mr. Wynn appears as Eddie and Mr. Cronin as Sam, his bosom friend, in Double Entry, a tale of nefarious doings in the world of big money, of larceny and embezzlement, of fraud and friendship. Altogether, a most remarkable tale of suspense.
Yeah, it always balances in the double entry system. If it don't, you hang around till it does. That's what I've been doing all my life, keeping books. Oh, it's fascinating. Positively fascinating. You know, I'll bet in my day I've written billions of figures. Hundreds of billions. And cash? Say, I've handled so much cash my fingertips are calloused. Once I even got water on a thumb from licking it to count money. But so what? What's cash? Handling cash is just the same as adding figures. A job. Then, one day, something happens that makes you look on things different. There's no excitement in an office. No danger. No heroism, no adventure. Not much chance to risk anything, to do something for a pal. Behind an adding machine, you can't tell men from mice without a scorecard. So, if a guy gets in a jam, and he gets a chance to do a favor to help a pal out who is in a jam, well, maybe you look on cash a little different. All of a sudden, cash is more than pieces of metal and bits of green paper. It's socially significant. That's what it is.
Eddie, hand me the Dixie cup, will you?
Yeah. Your ulcer's bothering you again, Sam?
Yeah, bad. These ledgers are driving me nuts.
You got the wrong temperament for an account. You shouldn't let it get you down.
Things can't go on like this, Eddie.
Huh. Hey, what's the matter? Alice? Alice don't understand you.
No, Alice don't understand me.
Well, that's because you don't understand her.
Will you shut up? Sometimes you're so smug.
Oh, now lay off, Sam. You can't go on like this.
Like what?
Well, you're grouchy all the time. You got something on your mind. Alice don't understand. Well, try me out. I won't throw no dishes at you.
Well, no. No, I can't tell you. Wouldn't matter anyway. You can't do anything.
Just telling your troubles helps sometime. Go on, talk, Sam. Talk, Sam.
Okay, it's the auditors.
But them guys? Don't let them worry you. You're running this office, ain't you? You tell them, don't let them tell you.
I'm telling you, Eddie, they're getting awful close.
What are you talking about?
They're driving me nuts.
Well, why, Sam?
I'm light, Eddie.
You mean?
The books. They're light. They're short.
You mean?
I'm a crook, Eddie. An embezzler. And they're going to get me. Those auditors, they're onto me. I know they are. I can feel them getting closer. Now, after 9 years, they're on my trail.
You a crook, Sam? I don't believe it.
I wish I was dreaming.
Why, Sam, you're the fair-haired boy around here. All you got to do is ask.
Ask who? Bartholomew? That tight-fisted...
It's Alice. She's to blame, I know. She wasn't satisfied with your salary. She wanted ermine capes, diamonds, a box at the opera. Oh, I know. She drove you to it. 9 years. Hey, how much did you take in all that time?
$100,000.11. Where am I going to get that kind of money?
I can dig up the 11 cents.
Ah, wisecracks. That's all you're good for. Jail staring me in the face.
Yeah, that's why you're so nervous.
That's where my ulcers come from.
Every night, working late, covering up.
Sweating, worrying, thinking of suicide.
9 years ago. Well, she made you do it, Sam.
That's right. I told her I was playing the market, and I was.
Yeah, but the stock's dropped.
Out of sight.
So you bought more.
And more.
And then? Yes, Mr. Bartholomew?
My master's voice.
Yeah, Bartholomew wants to see you. Well, wag your tail, Fido.
Wag it. Can't even drag it. Say, didn't I see the auditors go in there a minute ago?
Yeah. Come to think of it, they did, Sam.
Well, this is it, kid.
Oh, maybe it's not, Sam.
I got a feeling. I'm not scared, Eddie. It's a relief. I'll sleep nights now. Maybe my ulcer will clear up.
$100,000. I wonder what he did with the 11 cents. Sales tax, I guess. What a chump.
Your name, Eddie?
Well, yeah, what about it?
What about it? Flint sent me. I'm Fink Martin. Flint said to drop in and see if you want to place a bet today.
Flint who?
Now, what do you mean, Flint who? Mike Flint. Ain't your name Eddie?
Well, sure, but I never heard of Mike Flint. You got the wrong Eddie. My name's Sullivan.
Oh, well, he didn't tell me no last name. How should I know? He says to look up Eddie in 411 Irving Trust Building.
Oh, well, this is 511.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute.
Huh?
You say you take bets on horses?
I'll take a bet on a camel if he's running a tropical.
Are you a bookie?
Well, I ain't no taxidermist, pal.
Yeah. Hey, I may be the right Eddie after all. Got any odds?
Well, if you're on the level, Eddie...
Well, you're in the business. Do I look like a stool pigeon?
Okay, Eddie. I guess you're okay. Odds? You want odds, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Now, at Tropical Park, I can give you 10-1 in the first race. Horse called Aleppo. Finished last in a field of 9. That was his only other start.
Let's see the form.
You see, odds is okay if you don't bet too heavy. You play odds like a side bet, Eddie. The thing to play is the jockey, not the horse. You take Sylvester. Here's the jockey. 1-3 yesterday, 2 on Monday, 1 on Sunday. Oh, he's hot. He can ride any dog into the money.
Does he ride a long shot today?
No. Today he's got 2 favorites and 4 short odds nags. He'll win 2 races today.
Oh, here's a 100-to-1 shot. Altruism.
Altruism, huh? I never heard of him.
I got a hunch.
Well, play it. Always play hunches. Yeah, let's see who this altruism is. Never raced before.
Well, and how do you know he's no good?
Well, I don't, but look who he's running against. War Alarm, unbeaten in 3 starts. Test Tube, last year's Gold Cup runner-up. File Clerk. Hey, there's a hunch for you, Eddie. File Clerk.
I ain't no file clerk, and I'm playing altruism.
Okay, Eddie. Just give me a $2.
Is that all I can bet?
Well, no, but, gee, I don't want to play you for a sucker.
How about $1,000?
Oh, why don't you tie that bull to a fence?
Will you take $1,000 on altruism?
Where would you get $1,000?
From the old man.
On the level, Eddie?
Oh, sure.
Well, I have to get Flint's okay. You let me use your phone?
Yeah.
See, $1,000. Oh, that's not stage money, Eddie.
Well, neither is $100,000. Could you pay off?
Oh, Flint will cover any bet that I want to make. Hello? Give me Flint. This Flint is a smart cookie.
Yeah?
Maybe he don't want to let... Wait a minute. Hello, Mike? This is Fink. Yeah. Look, a man's got $1,000 he wants to put on a nag called Altruism in the 3rd at Tropical. The odds are 100-to-1. How about it? Yeah, but if he wins, Mike. Well, sure I'm a gambler, but 100... Hung up. Funny guy, this Flint. Am I a gambler, he says. Okay, Eddie, we'll play $1,000 on Altruism's nose for you.
You will?
What's the matter, getting cold feet?
Well, no, Martin. I just meant, listen, that's a lot of dough to hand over to someone you never seen before.
Well, I never saw you before either, mister.
Yeah, but what chance are you taking?
Now, quit stalling. Are you betting or not?
Oh, okay. Wait till I get the money. Here it is.
You got it?
100, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 makes 1,000.
Thanks, Eddie. What's the matter? What you shaking for? Is this your life savings or something?
Oh, no. There's lots more where this come from.
Oh, of course. The old man has a wad of it behind his ear.
Yeah, that's it, Fink. Hey, you're a card. Hey, what are you rubbing them bills on that sheet of white paper for?
Well, if the green don't come off, the bill is no good.
No good?
Counterfeit. Hey, look at this. A phony. You better tell your old man to give you another one.
Is this counterfeit?
Certainly. Look at General Grant there. His nose shouldn't happen to Jimmy Durante.
Yeah, well, wait a minute, Fink.
Oh, what a setup. Just like that. Give me $1,000, Pop. I got a hunch my ship is coming in at Miami this afternoon. Oh, what a setup.
Here, Fink.
Yeah, thanks, Eddie. That's more like it. You tell your old man to pass that phony C-note in church. Yeah, well, here's my card, and here's your ticket. Now, you hang on to that. Might be worth $100,000.
Okay, Martin.
Hey. Are you all right? You look kind of green.
Oh, you just been looking at too much dough, Martin.
Well, maybe. Okay, you drop around this afternoon, about 3. Your dog is running then. Mm-hmm. And, just call me Fink.
Well, so long, Fink.
So long, Eddie.
Hello?
Sullivan, this is Mr. Bartholomew.
Yes, sir.
Speak up!
Yes, sir!
That's better, Sullivan. Sullivan, I want you to send a nice new $100 bill to St. Paul's Church in Scarsdale. A Christmas gift. Put it in a plain envelope and write Joyox Noel on it. Wrap it in a piece of paper so no one will know what it is at the post office. I want to send a nice little anonymous gift as a surprise. Nice, crisp $100 bill.
Oh, I know just the one, Mr. Bartholomew.
What's that?
Yes, sir. Hey, Eddie. Eddie, it's okay. I got by.
What?
I'm clear. The auditors missed it. Hey, what's the matter? Aren't you glad?
You mean you ain't going to jail?
Not this year.
Are you sure, Sam?
Positive. The auditors are through. Not a chance of getting caught.
Not a chance,
Not
Sam?
a chance, Eddie.
Well, there could be a slip-up.
No, there couldn't. What's the matter with you? Say, aren't you glad?
Oh, sure. Look, I'm doing handsprings.
Boy, oh, boy. Of course, it doesn't solve things completely.
Yeah, you said it.
I'm still short. But that's okay.
Oh, sure.
I'll think of something. I got a whole year.
Well, I'm very glad.
I don't get it, though. Bartholomew buttering me up. He says, we know everything's in good shape, Sam. No use putting those auditors to any more trouble. Just have them check the cash, and that'll wind it up.
The cash? Sam, will you hand me that Dixie cup by the typewriter?
Sure. You dry?
Very.
Say, what's on your mind?
Just 2 or 3 years, that's all.
Now I suppose you're going to tell me that you've been swiping postage stamps.
Oh, no, nothing as bad as that. Look, I'm your pal, Sam.
Sure.
I'd do anything for you.
I know, Eddie. Then talk sense.
Well, I hated to think of you in Sing Sing for 6 months, Sam, so I'm going there myself for a few years.
What are you saying?
I swiped $1,000 and bet it on 100 to 1 shot at Tropical Park, Sam.
You swiped? Oh, no. Oh, no. No! Eddie, you're kidding me.
No, I did it for you, Sam. A guy don't get a chance to prove his friendship very often.
Friendship? You talk to me of friendship at a time like this? Oh, we might as well be in Sing Sing right now.
Yeah, and me the longest.
I hope so, of all the dumb tricks. Didn't make any entries, I suppose.
Nope. I just took it.
How'd you come to bet on a horse? What bookies do you know?
Here's his card. He just happened in by accident.
A 10-ton truck should just happen in by accident and run over you.
Well, maybe he'd give it back, Sam.
Oh, sure. Bookies are that way. Philanthropists, all of them. Probably no such address as this.
Now, don't be hard on me, will you, Sam? After all, I risked my own neck to save yours.
No greater love.
Maybe this horse will win.
Yeah, maybe Alf Landon will, too.
Well...
Oh, shut up. Take an entry in the books. Then we'll pay Mr. Fink Martin a call. Friendship.
Yeah, friendship. Well, we're in this together, pal.
For Suspense, Roma Wines are bringing you as stars Keenan Wynn and Hume Cronin in Double Entry by Robert Minton. Roma Wines' presentation tonight in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Between the acts of suspense, this is Truman Bradley for Roma Wines. One of life's most embarrassing moments is to be caught with nothing in the house when guests drop in, especially during the Christmas season. That's why smart hostesses make sure of gracious hospitality by keeping delicious Roma California port on hand all the time. Yes, Roma port adds true warmth to any welcome. So pleasureful, too, at the end of a meal. Enjoy Roma port often, with its glowing ruby brilliance, fine fruity fragrance, and rich nectar-like natural sweetness. Like all Roma wine, Roma port is a true wine, crushed from choice grapes, grown in California's finest vineyards. Then, unhurriedly, guided to glorious perfection by Roma's age-old winemaking skill, bottled at Roma's famed winery. Get Roma port tomorrow and enjoy Roma's delightful taste luxury. Insist on Roma, R-O-M-A, for uniformly fine quality at low cost. Discover why more Americans enjoy Roma than any other wine.
And now Roma Wines bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Keenan Wynn as Eddie and Hume Cronin as Sam, partners in crime in Double Entry, a play well calculated to keep you in suspense.
On the subway up to the bookie's place, I didn't say a word. I just stared at the ads, and I kept thinking of how I'd messed things up and wondered what Sam was thinking. The window we sat near had bars on it, and I felt like I was already in jail. Well, we got there. It was a great big large room.
Well, if it ain't the millionaire bookkeeper. Hi, Eddie.
Oh, hi, Eddie, Fink.
Welcome to our humble joint. Of course, it ain't like Hialeah,
But it's as close as we can get to it in New York. Yeah, I know.
Oh, this is Sam Crockett, Fink, and my boss.
Oh, glad to meet you, Mr. Crockett. Smart man you got working for you. He's going to make himself a pile of dough this afternoon, ain't you, Eddie?
Look, Martin. This is all a mistake. Eddie had no business betting $1,000 on a horse. The fact is, it wasn't his money.
Oh, I know that. It was his old man's.
He stole it from the company.
No, Eddie, would you do a thing like that?
Uh-huh.
Well, I am surprised. I thought your old man ran the place.
He was trying to help someone, so...
So he helped himself to $1,000, huh?
Martin, give us a break and return the money. We'll both go to jail if we don't put it back.
At Tropical Park in the 6th, scratch Doughboy, number 624.
Gee, I'm sorry, fellas, but I can't do nothing about it. I've turned in the dough already. I just work here. I can't get it back.
You gotta help us, Martin.
Well, I'd like to, Crockett, but, gee, how can I? Look, this is a business. Supposing I ask the boss. He says it's a contract. He can't back out, neither can you. Where would we be if we asked you to take your money back?
Yeah, but don't you see we'll go to Sing Sing
1
Fink?
minute to post time for the 3rd at Tropical Place. You bet.
Look, maybe those bills were counterfeit, huh? You know, you can tell the cashier the dough's no good, huh?
Oh, how can I, Eddie? He can spot a phony from 50 yards.
The auditors are checking our books now, Martin.
Well, all I can say is I'm sorry, and, well, I hope this nag wins for you, but I can't do a thing about it.
Park.
We're sunk, Eddie.
You sounded like you meant it, huh?
Well, so what? Let's go.
Well, ain't you interested in hearing the race over the loudspeaker?
No.
Well, I am. It's me that started this whole thing, and I'm going to get my money's worth.
In the 3rd, a correction. Sylvester is riding altruism.
Hey, did you hear that, Sam?
You mean we got a jockey?
Oh, now, don't be funny. This guy Sylvester's hot. He's winning 2 or 3 races a day.
In the 3rd, they're away at 3:17.
Hey, they're off.
I got ears.
Yeah.
At the quarter, it's a Wallaron by a head. The dive bomber is 2nd. Calumet Palace 3rd by a half a length. Dunedin is 4th. The Westwood Ho is 5th. The File Clerk is 6th. And the Valiant Ned 7th. The Mashie Niblick is 8th. Timid Soul is 9th. Golden West is 10th, and test tube, auction block, early riser, and altruism.
No wonder you got 100 to 1. There's 100 horses.
Yeah, that's not a race. It's a caravan.
Last place. Now, are you satisfied?
Well, okay, Sam, let's go. Man of War couldn't win in a crowd like that unless he cut across the infield.
Oh, you sure pick him.
Well, come on. What are you waiting for?
I'm not waiting. Hey, quit pushing me.
Am I pushing you? Listen. By a length, War Alarm is second by 2. Test tube is third by a nose. Dive Bomber is 4th, and Dunnan is 5th. Calumet Powell, Westwood Hole, File Clerk, Timid Soul, Golden West, Early Riser, Mashing Niblick, and Altruism. Auction Block has dropped out.
That nag has taken the pause that refreshes.
Well, he's come up.
If enough drop out, he can win.
Yeah, the race would have the last 2 days, huh?
Why didn't they run it in heats?
Well, might as well hang around till the end, huh, Sam?
Oh, well, I guess so.
It's Valiant Ned still leading by a length. Test Tube is second by a nose. War Alarm is third. And coming up on the outside is Altruism.
Hey, did he say altruism?
He said it. Get the results.
Hey, Porky, how about the finish?
Coming over the wire.
Oh, Sylvester, ride, boy, ride!
Don't wring your hands. It's too late to pray. The race is over.
Yeah, well, who won?
How do I know who won? The wire's always a minute behind.
We got a chance.
It's too close for comfort. Oh, why did Flint let me take that bet?
The winner of the third at Tropical Park is, Altruism.
Oh, how do you like that?
He won.
Am I a chump now?
Oh, you're a champ, Eddie, a champ.
Oh, it was nothing, Sam.
Only a sap could do it.
Oh, thanks.
Holy smoke, this doesn't.
Oh, Fink, I almost forgot. You got to fork over.
Oh, that just about busts this joint. Hey, how about calling it off?
Remember what you said about contracts?
Yeah, but gee, if I'd have known they were switching Sylvester onto that
When
dog.
do we get paid off?
Right now, Crockett. Come on over to the cashier.
Cash? We have to take cash?
Oh, absolutely. We ain't got no bank account. First thing you know, we'd have to pay income tax.
Well, you can deduct this loss.
Yeah. All right, give me your ticket.
Here.
Here's a cashier at this window. 100 grand, Speed.
Hey, the cashier don't bat an eye. I'm gonna...
Hey, the cops! The cops!
Grab that cashier! Go out the back The cops jugged everyone in the place. Vic and the other gamblers got away with the 100 grand. And we had to wait until morning for a trial. Every silver lining has a rip in it.
I don't see how they got away. I'm sore. We sit here in the can, and they're off with all that dough.
Well, we were framed. This whole thing was planned.
You're crazy. How did Martin know altruism would win? Can't turn on a police raid like a shower bath.
Well, how are we ever going to find those guys?
We won't. And if we do, it won't do us any good because you haven't got the ticket anymore. Even if you have, you couldn't force them to pay. Gambling isn't legal, you know.
Oh, that's nice, dreary music.
Might as well get used to it. We'll be living in quarters like this for quite some time.
Hey, here comes the keeper.
You got a visitor, boys.
Huh?
An auditor.
Name of Martin. Think Martin.
Hiya, boys.
Well, you coming to pay us off?
Well, not exactly, no. You see, Mike, the boss, he don't want to pay.
Oh, you wouldn't chisel, Fink. Oh, no.
On the level. I thought this guy Flint was square. Now he's welching on all his debts, and he's blowing town. He's got $1 grand of mine.
Oh, that's a great story, Martin.
Well, I don't have to tell stories, do I? I could have stayed away from here, Crockett.
It's nice to see you again, Fink. Still taking bets?
All right. Will this shut you up, Eddie?
Hey, $1,000.
Yeah, $1,000. It's all I got. It's my own dough. Well, that's the best I can do, Eddie. Hey, guard, let me out of here.
Well, gee, I don't know what to say, Fink.
Say no to the next bookie you meet, Eddie. Them nags is poison.
Well, it was fun for a while, Fink. I wouldn't take your dough, but...
Say no more. Put it back where it came from, Sam, and try to forget you ever seen me.
So, there I was, back where I started, at scratch. All I had to do was put the dough back in the cash drawer. The next morning, after paying a $10 fine, we took the subway downtown. Sam read the paper, and I just stared at the ads as usual.
Quite a story about altruism. picture of Sylvester here. Just a kid. 19, weighs 105.
Hey, look at that ad. It says, spell it backwards. If they want you to read it that way, why don't they turn it around?
Hey, Eddie. Eddie, look.
Well, what is it, Sam?
This picture. It's Bartholomew.
They've arrested him. Well, what for?
Embezzlement.
But that's you, Sam.
Listen to this. Mr. Bartholomew confessed to having embezzled company funds to the tune of $250,000 when auditors discovered a shortage in cash of $1,000. So that's why he was hurrying those guys around.
Well, let me see. What a business. Everyone in it is a crook. What? Hey, Sam, where you going?
Back to the police station. I'm giving myself up.
Giving yourself up? You're nuts.
No, Eddie. I'd never sleep again if I escaped scot-free. Besides, I'd like to get away from Alice for about 6 months.
Yeah, but Sam! So, Sam went to the police and gave himself up. But guess what? They didn't want him. They already had their man. He wrote out a confession. He offered to show them the books, but they just laughed at him. Called him a publicity seeker. He pleaded with him, but it was no use. Even Bartholomew called him a fool. Imagine, Sam fought for the right to go to prison, and they laughed at him. Well, that's what happens when a bookkeeper tries to get out of the rut. There's no escape. Yeah. Sam would have preferred a few quiet months in Sing Sing, breaking rocks. Could have got rid of his ulcers. He would have got away from Alice. But no.
Hey, Eddie. Hand me that Dixie cup, will you?
Oh, your ulcers bothering you again, Sam?
Yeah, something awful. These ledgers are driving me nuts.
Suspense. Presented by Roma Wines, R-O-M-A, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world. Before we hear again from Keenan Wynn and Hume Cronin, the stars of Double Entry, tonight's suspense play, this is Truman Bradley with a word to the men from famed hostess Elsa Maxwell. If you are a typical male who has put off Christmas shopping until the last possible minute, here's a life-saving suggestion. Delight your friends, complete your shopping in an hour, and know your gifts are in excellent taste. Give Roma wine. Yes, there are taste-tempting Roma wines for every occasion. For entertaining, choose Roma California Sherry, Port, Muscatel, or Tokay. For added mealtime pleasure, give Golden Roma California Sauterne or Red Burgundy. And if you want to say Merry Christmas in a grand style, say it with the continental smartness of Roma California Champagne or Sparkling Burgundy. Whether your gift of Roma wine is a bottle, several, or a case, you know when you give Roma, you give a true wine, unvaryingly good always. And Roma's low prices will surprise you pleasantly. So, for good living and good giving this Christmas, insist on Roma, R-O-M-A, Roma wine, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world.
This is Keenan Wynn.
And this is Hume Cronin.
Joining together to wish you a very Merry Christmas.
Next Thursday, same time, Roma Wines will bring you Miss Marcia Hunt as star of Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills.
Produced by William Spear for the Roma Wine Company of Fresno, California. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. The Roma Wine Company of Fresno, California presents
Roma Wines bring you Mr. Lee Bowman as star of I Won't Take a Minute, a suspense play produced, edited, and directed for Roma Wines by William Spear.
Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills, is presented for your enjoyment by Roma Wines. That's R-O-M-A, Roma Wines. Those excellent California wines that can add so much pleasantness to the way you live, to your happiness in entertaining guests, to your enjoyment of everyday meals. Yes, right now a glassful would be very pleasant as Roma Wines bring you Mr. Lee Bowman in a remarkable tale of suspense.
She was very good to look at, which is why I waited till I was 25 and met her. Here's how she went. First, a lot of gold all beaten up into a froth and poured over her head and allowed to set there in crinkly little curls. Blue eyes and a mouth with real lines. And in addition, well, she had everything just about right. And believe me, I was going to throw away the sales slip and not return the merchandise once it got to my house. That's why I nearly went nuts every evening waiting for her to come out of the building where she worked. She was always the last one out, and this particular evening she was later than usual. It got dark. The streetlights came on, and the rush hour was over before she put in an appearance.
Kenny? Oh, gee, Kenny, I'm sorry. You've been waiting long?
Oh, no. I just nearly got run in for picketing the place, that's all.
I hurried all I could. Please don't be mad at me, Kenny.
I'm not mad at you. The slave driver you worked for. Why do you always have to be the last one out?
Oh, it's only for another week.
Yeah. Come on, let's go.
I got to deliver this package on the way home for his nib.
But you're not going home. We're going to Philharmonic. Thursday, remember?
Oh, it won't take any time at all, honey. It's just around the corner. 415 Martine Street.
Okay. That guy nerves me up, making you play messenger girl after hours.
Oh, let's don't talk about Mr. Heston. Let's talk about us. Been counting the days?
All day. 13 left.
And the half. Don't forget the half if it's to be a noon wedding.
Why all the fuss about the half?
Oh, I don't like 13 by itself. I'll be glad when it's tomorrow and only 12 days left.
Gee, you're cute. The more I know you, the cuter you get.
I bet you won't say that a year from now. You'll be calling me your old lady then.
You'll always be Steffi to me. Just Steffi.
Not even Stephanie?
No, too sophisticated, too foreign sounding. Steffi, that's you. Hey, what number are you supposed to...
Oh, what a telephone booth.
She told me the place was small, but I never figured on this, not even a window.
All right, let's have a look. Desk, filing cabinet. Yeah, clippings. Well, so far your story checks. Except for one thing.
What's that?
There's no file for anyone named Muller.
Oh.
This must be their desk.
Yeah.
Shears, glue, clips. Not much of a personal touch here, not even a hair pick. Uh-oh.
Find something?
Nothing special.
Well, you found something there. I saw you drop it in an envelope and stick it in your pocket.
Listen, Bud, who's running this investigation, you or me?
Sorry. You, I guess.
Okay, let's keep it that way.
Our next stop was one of those bungalow-type places in the outskirts. That was where Heston lived, the guy she worked for.
Oh, good evening. Good evening. You Mr. Heston?
That's right.
I'm from police headquarters. May I come in?
Oh, why, certainly. Won't you sit down, gentlemen?
We won't take up much of your time, sir. First of all, do you know anyone named Muller at 415 Martine Street?
No, I don't know anyone by that name. I think we have a Miller, a Mrs. Elsie Miller on our list, who divorces and marries quite frequently. Will that do? She owes us $29.
You didn't send a package over to Muller, apartment 4B, 415 Martine Street at 6:15 this evening?
No, I'm sure I didn't. But wait a minute. It's easy enough to confirm that. Oh, Stephanie.
Steffi.
Did you call me, Mr. Heston?
Yes, my dear. Oh, this is my assistant gentleman, Miss Stephanie Riska.
That isn't Steffi. He's calling somebody else by her name.
My dear young man.
She came out of that building while I was waiting. I spoke to her.
We'll discuss that later. Now then, miss, how long have you been working for Mr. Heston?
Since October of last year.
About 8 months now.
And your name is Stephanie Whisker?
Why, yes, of course.
Have you any identification on you?
I don't know. Maybe there's something here in my handbag.
You mind if I look?
It's all right, my dear. He's from the police.
Oh, well, in that case.
Thank you.
Listen, I don't know what these two are trying to pull, but she's not Steffi. You've got to believe me. She came out of that building dressed like Steffi. The way Steffi was dressed when she went in.
Stop that, will you? Thank you, Miss Whisker. I'm sorry to inconvenience.
It's quite all right.
I noticed you have quite a supply of chewing gum there. That's hard to get these days.
I make a hobby of it. Have some?
Oh, thanks. My mouth's kind of dry. Well, Mr. Hester...
It's quite all right. I don't know what this young man has got himself mixed up to deliver that package to.
4:15. This must be it.
What a dump. Your boss have many customers in dumps like this?
I don't know. Hold a match for me, will you, Kenny? Can't see the name.
There, that's better.
Yeah, But I still don't see it.
What was the name?
Muller, apartment 4B. Oh, here it is. Name card's fallen out of the slit and gotten lost. No wonder I couldn't find it.
Maybe they're not home.
I'll ring it again. There it is.
I don't like those automatic door latches. You never know who's up there.
Oh, don't be silly. Wait here, honey. I won't take a minute.
I never timed a cigarette. I suppose they take around 5 minutes. This one seemed to take longer, but then look who I was waiting for. I punched it out with my foot and lit another. I thought, won't take a minute. Yeah, I might have known it. I thought, what's she doing, saying a tea up there? I counted my change just to give myself something to do. I took off my hat and looked it over like I'd never seen it before. 5 cigarettes later, she still hadn't come back. Things happened. Nothing much. Little things that were to last so long. A stout lady in a ratty-looking fur coat came in holding some candy in one hand and a little boy by the other.
Oh, you shut up or I'll smack you good.
I'll cut off your head and put it in the garbage can.
Now, Dwighty, I don't want to hear another word. If you don't hush up, I'll...
After they'd gone, more waiting started in. I commenced tracing patterns with my feet. Circles, diagonals, Maltese crosses. Finally, I got fed up. I stepped over to the bell panel, picked out 4B, and nearly sent the button through to the other side of the wall. I could hear it ringing away off somewhere. Quiet house. Too quiet. I leaned on the bell till my thumb joint got all white down to my wrist. And something did happen. I heard the door of the automatic elevator open. I waited, nonchalant-like, filing my fingernails. I thought I'd play a little hurt when she arrived. I could see it was her, all right, walking toward me. She opened the door and then walked past me like she never saw me before. I let her go on. Figured she'd turn around by the time she got to the door. But no. Steffi. Hey, Steffi, wait. Steffi. Hey, Steffi, what's the big idea?
I beg your pardon.
Oh, I thought you were... I mean, you're dressed just like...
I would advise you to be sure to whom you are talking before you go to grab a strange girl by the coat.
Oh, no kidding. You look a lot like her, even the clothes.
Aroma wine, so tempting with the distinctive fragrance of the world-famous Muscat grape. With its rich, mellow sweetness, its glowing golden fire. Roma Muscatel is delightful with desserts, too. Famed hostess Elsa Maxwell says, Roma Muscatel is a sure to please, easy to serve entertainment wine when guests drop in. Like all Roma wines, Roma Muscatel is a true wine, crushed from selected grapes, unhurriedly guided to taste perfection by age-old winemaking skill. And Roma's new low prices save you as much as 1/4. Get Roma Muscatel tomorrow. Insist on Roma, R-O-M-A, for uniformly fine wine quality at low cost. That's why more Americans enjoy Roma than any other wine.
And now, Roma Wines bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Lee Bowman as Kenny in Cornell Woolrich's story of a vanishing lady, I Won't Take a Minute. A play well calculated to keep you in suspense.
cop on the beat was a nice guy. He rang every bell in every flat of the building and questioned the occupants. No one had heard anything. No one had seen her. Finally, a single plainclothes man was dropped off at the door. Lieutenant Gilman. He kept calling me Bud. He looked around the empty flat, then he looked at me.
Bud, there's nothing to show that this girl or anyone else came in here.
I tell you, she rang the bell of this flat, and someone released the door catch for her from up here.
All right. Assuming she got in here, how'd she get out?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the fire is...
Look at those windows. Look at the dust on these frames. A person can't move in a place like this without it showing.
Listen, don't do this to me, will you? You make it sound like she didn't come here with me at all.
That's what it does sound like, Bud.
Look, I was taking her to the concert tonight. We go every Thursday. So here's our ticket.
I think we better build this thing from the ground up and see what we've got. Now, what's this girl's name?
Stephanie. Stephanie Riska.
Address?
120 Farragut.
Uh-huh. What's she look like?
Well, she comes up to about here next to me. She's blonde, little curls close to her head, blue eyes. I'm no good at description.
Don't let it get you, Bud.
I'm not scared because she's gone. I'm scared because she's gone in such a crazy way. I can't get a grip on her.
Now, you say you met her at 6:15 outside the Bailey Goodwin building with a package to be delivered here. Who'd she work for?
A press clipping service. The Green Star, it's called. It's operated by a guy named Hessen.
Big outfit?
Just him and a secretary and an office boy. She was getting $22 a week.
All right, Bud. You've given me something definite. We'll do some checking. But first of all, we go back to the place she worked.
That little tam and the red shoes.
Really, I don't find this amusing.
Okay, sister, pardon me for living.
Next time, make sure it's one of the girls that live here.
It was a shock. I didn't like the looks of the place from the beginning. Up to then, I was just sore. Now I began to get scared. Maybe there's some guy up there trying to get funny with her, I thought. I better get up there fast and find out what this is. So I laid my hand flat over all the bells in the place so somebody'd open up. Open up in there. Open up or I'll bust the door down. Do you hear me? Steffi, are you in there, honey? Baby, why don't you say something?
Yeah, what's this?
Oh, that's what I want to know. Who are you?
Building superintendent.
Got a pass key to this flat?
I have. What do you want in there?
My girl. She took a package up. I've been waiting for her downstairs. I don't know how long. She never came down again. Now they won't answer the bell.
No, wait a minute, young fella. She couldn't be in this flat.
Oh, don't try to tell me.
Hey, don't you try to tell me. I say she couldn't be.
Why?
I'll show you why.
Hey.
Now, you see why?
It's empty.
Empty.
Nobody lives here. But there was someone here a while ago. She rang the bell and they let her in.
Mister, this place ain't been rented for 6 months.
Listen, she came in here, I tell you.
Yeah. Maybe you and the little girl had a quarrel, eh? Maybe she figured to play a little joke on you. Give you the slip.
We never had any quarrel. We're getting married.
Yeah. Why don't you go to her place? You'll probably find her there.
Well, she didn't come out again, I tell you. I was there at the door the whole time. What about the back way? Is there a back way out?
Not a back way. There's a delivery entrance, but that goes right past my quarters. Nobody went out that way.
Muller. The name was Muller. Well, if he doesn't live in 4B, where does he live?
Muller. Huh. We never had anyone with that name in the whole 12 years I've been working here.
For Suspense, Roma Wines are bringing you as star Mr. Lee Bowman in I Won't Take a Minute. Roma Wines' presentation tonight in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Between the acts of Suspense, this is Truman Bradley for Roma Wines. In the hurried, hectic shopping weeks between now and Christmas, there will be many a night when you'll be glad to relax in the warmth and comfort of your own home. And what more delightful way to enjoy a quiet, restful evening than with a glass full of Roma California Muscatel and nuts or cake. You'll thoroughly enjoy this magnificent Roma